Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, we are going to be discussing Venus entering into Aries, which is my natal placement. Okay, so I won't be on here too long with this, guys, because I really want to get the other four Uranus through the signs videos out. And that's a lot. So I'm trying not to like overwhelm my own self. So what I really suggest is that you guys go back to the Mars and Gemini video that I did, and also the Jupiter and the Aries video that I did last year. And that will be on my other page. Remember, you could just click up above on my link tree to get to all my older videos, and subscribe over there as well, because unfortunately a lot more of my content is over there than on this page. And so, we have to do what we have to do, family, to get this information. So bear with me on that until we don't have to go over there anymore. But the other good thing about this is that as these transits become more stronger in the astrology, I'll be talking about them anyways. So, you're not going to miss anything. If you really want to get the best out of what I have to offer, you definitely want to sign up to become a Patreon member, where you can get the weekly astrology personally for your chart, every week, for $20 a month. I wouldn't suggest you go to my Patreon page. I should actually take that damn page down because the price on there isn't correct. But um yeah, so email me if you want more information on that at info@awayoflife.net. And I think that's all that I have for updates with that. Um Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. So, Venus enters Aries today until March 16th. So this is going to be for all the mutable signs, which are, I'm pretty sure it's Aries, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, all the mutable signs. If it's not Aries, what would be the other one? I should probably go look that up. But anyway, um, Aries rules the first house. It's your body. Whenever we're talking about the first house, we're talking about your body and free will. Um, the choices that you make when you are ignoring spirit, which is what everybody does down here, by the way. This isn't a good or a bad thing. Free will is the choice to choose, like how I say, you've guys heard me on here say before, I don't really resonate so much with the Libra and Gemini, Cancer, moon energy in my chart as much as I do my Capricorn energy, which is my south node, because I am very business oriented, which could even be my Venus and Aries. Even my Mars and Libra are stronger in that way because they also rule entrepreneurship, being independent, active, courageous, and those types of themes there. I think I resonate more strongly with those things than I do with any other placement in my chart. Um, those are just more prominent for me. So when I say free will, it doesn't have to be a good thing or a bad thing, but most likely it's tend to be seen as something negative because it's not the spiritual choice, right? But when you're awakened, you can choose which one of those parts of your chart you want to enforce. Like, I think we talk about this in astrology with progression charts. And so, where is your energy progressing to? You can actually see that type of thing in your chart. Um, and you're meant to grow and evolve in that way where you can kind of pick and choose, okay, I'm not a Libra today. Today I'm a whatever, whatever, right? And so just keep that other theory in mind, that it's free will isn't all bad, but it can be seen as the negative side. And so, first house again is your body, your self-esteem, um, whether you're heavy set or not, the head, um, taking care of your health. Health themes come up quite heavily here. Even your fashion style and how you tend to show up to people outside in the world. You know, when you first initially meet somebody, what are going to be some of the things that are noticeable about you? Um, do, 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 do. It's also your root chakra, blood. Um, mm, it can get quite like a surgery. So it can be something of that nature. Because Aries rules like knives, guns, sharp objects, fighting, violence, and so there can be things around fire. So there can be things around surgery that people might have to attend to, or these themes can be really hot topics right now. I talked last year when I did the Jupiter entering into Aries video about how it was going to be a hot summer. I think this is why it's not so hard. I warned you guys we wasn't going to have um a cold winter because Jupiter is in Aries naturally, with Jupiter being an energy of expansion and its rules a fire sign also, that the weather was going to be a lot different, I thought. And I think it's proven to be true so far. Let me not jinx it because we're still in winter season, right? We're almost there. So I think it's going to be a hot fucking summer again, like it was last year, which I think we can all agree, hooray, right? Um, what else? Fast, active, action, assertive, um, independent, courageous. Aries likes the chase, for sure. This is a hunter, a soldier, military. Okay, just like the sun, they share Aries and the sun share those things in common. The sun might be higher ups, where our Aries are just like police officers, you know. Um, being young, having being young at heart, the masculine energy, war, um, impulsive, outspoken, very fiery, prissy, and sass here, a bunch of sass, okay? Um, I'm trying to think if it could mean anything else, but that's all I'm getting at the moment. Mars is separation. It cuts things out of your life. It can also be seen as a purification, um, conflict, being direct and blunt. And because Mars is in Gemini, that's why I say go look at the Mars and Gemini energy. You'll see mixture of Gemini themes for sure, but you'll also hear the Mars and Aries themes as well. Same thing with Jupiter and Aries. So to get more of the themes, that's what I'm really wanting everybody to focus on, are the themes that are being mentioned, because you are undoubtedly going to be seeing a lot of these themes being played out with this energy being activated. We currently have a stellium of planets already in Aries, which is planets we don't typically talk about a lot, but that doesn't mean that those things aren't taking place. So you got Juno, Vesta, Jupiter, and now Venus. And that's going to continue throughout this process. And the closer we get to Aries season, which the more these more common planets move into Aries. Telling you right now, the hotter it's gonna get, okay? And feisty too, like fiery, So go back. You don't gotta do it today, but you definitely want to go back and listen to those videos. Um, and then Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. So you always have to incorporate both signs. The Taurus sign is all about money, finances, investments, savings, budgeting, spending money, materialism, art, um, fashion. That's more Venus than Taurus. Food is more Taurian. Your singing voice, your speaking voice, even though you have a very nice voice, with Mars being here, it can still be gangster. I'm just saying. Say it with your chest. Um, you know, um, so we can hear a lot more about food. I think there's going to be some conversations coming up about food, especially with the transits that I've been talking about over the last few weeks are going to bring a strain to food here. Um, or we can hear it being like polluted or tainted, burnt up even, on fire. So I hate to say that, but stock up. I've been telling y'all this. I've been warning you guys about this for a long time with the food, with Taurus being in the North Node. You might even want to go check that video out with Venus being so activated now in this kind of way. It's a new cycle, new stuff's gonna come up, so think of it as Venus having hit a new degree point, right? That we have to address. So say Taurus in the North Node's been at, and I'm just making this up. I really don't know. I should have looked, but um say if Taurus had a Venus, Taurus in the North Node has been at between just hovering between 10 and 15 degrees this whole time. And now that it's getting ready to close out, it's going to move to 25 to 30 degrees. Well, these are new themes that can come up. Um, or same themes, but different aspects and ways that those things can be playing out. So, um, even though I'm not going to be talking about this much, and this will be a very short video, please don't dismiss this energy as something low level or non important. Um, okay. So those are all the Taurus themes, and then Libra is marriage, romantic relationships, all relationships, relationships with women more than anything. Um, um, we can see a lot of cutting and severing of relationships because today's the new moon in Pisces. If you have exes or behaviors of past relationships that you want released and cut, this is a perfect energy to do some cord cutting, releasing, and letting go when it comes to love and relationships. Um, Contracts, agreements. This I highly advise people not to be signing any contracts and agreements during this time. I'm sorry. I have to say that because Venus is in detriment here. And even though this doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, just pay attention to the type of energy you're bringing into that contract. It's going to be very Venus and Aries, which at any given point can be argumentative. Um, and violent. So, that's just me and my personal opinion. I wouldn't do it during this time, but if you have to, get grounded, be intentional with what you're signing and how you want it to work out. Obviously, more on the positive side, where again, it's just assertive. People show up for you, they support you, they're giving you love and money and, all those other kinds of themes there. Um, Contracts, agreements, partnerships, business partnerships. This is a great time because you always want people who understand give and take for Venus and Aries energy for any entrepreneurial endeavors because you get results here. And I think whenever you're doing a business, I think we can all agree that we want results. So this is a great energy to manifest under. Um, um, mentorship, counseling, and any legal matters. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go with be careful at this time because we could just have a whole bunch, a lot more legal matters than anticipated around this time. Not actually intentionally, just kind of um, it's the root chakra. So whenever your root chakra is being activated and you're not cleansing, detoxing, and dealing with those things, they rise up in ways that unfortunately can happen on the more negative side. So if you don't want it, don't do it, especially with Mars and Gemini. This is car accidents, road rage, and all those types of things there. Family, please go back and look at that Mars and Gemini video. You'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't. All right, just pay attention because it's about to get hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Okay, let me stop. And then Venus rules love, money, beauty, art, fashion, peace, harmony, charm, pleasure, our desires. So these are going to be the types of things you attract, positive or negative. You pick and choose. Um, because Aries is the actual energy of the new year. This is new projects, new love. Things can be um, complicated because, Aries is in detriment, especially when it comes to expressing your love in a very sexual way. You might be more attracted to violence. You might want to be roughed up by it. I'm not in your love life. You might like it rough. Just saying. Because this is very much sexual energy. Um, you can have a physical attraction. It could be very surface level here, especially in Venus. With Venus, Venus can be very vanity, more so concerned with, with how somebody looks as opposed to what's inside or even getting to know somebody. So these are things that start just as fast as they start, they end just as quickly. Um, you might feel the need to have a little bit more space. Um, and do things on your own with that independent energy, or you might be more into doing things where it only takes one person to do something. Any kind of job that's consistent of only needing one operator. Um, you can be very strong and willful at this time. You can initiate all things Venus and Aries ruled. You can also be very selfish, competitive. There can be power struggles. People can be very impatient at this time, moving into things too quickly. And violence in women, violence in relationships, sexual abuse. You can have an interest in violence and sharp objects and things like that. So, um, just pay attention to whatever's coming up for you. Another thing to keep in mind is that Venus has completed a cycle because she's been around the entire zodiac. She's back to Aries. So again, new developments around Venus ruled things. Venus is also the ruler of the North Node. So Libras and Taurus and Aries, you guys really need to be, focused. These are going to affect you guys the most because these are your chart rulers. Um, um, but we could see significant changes in finances, stability, security, your physical appearance. Um, You can be a little bit more combative, angry, fierce, and bold. Um, it might magnify pain, unfortunately, or war, or things around military. Again, women, femininity, mandates. Um, like somebody putting a stronghold on you, fighting, fist fighting. Um, it could be sports and very active or digging. This is also the energy of Scorpio. Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. So that South Node is also being activated in some way, shape, or form. Again, it's a great energy to use to release any negativity that you absolutely do not want anything to do with, relationship wise, business wise. Um, and your status, and again how people see you or view you, let all that go and then start thinking about how you want to be seen moving forward, what it is you want people to, what status do you want to make it to, what kind of business relationships do you want, what kind of love relationships do you want, what kind of relationships in general are you looking for. um think. We can hear a lot more about veterans and their psychological issues from war. We can hear about more head injuries because, again, Aries rules the head, more about brain injuries, explosives, men and the reproductive health, their reproductive health. I really do feel like, and I've been saying this for a long time, that Mars is on a journey of uplifting men. Um, and the one thing that this can be seen as negative, but I don't know, family, because of all that Pluto energy and Saturn, that's just heavy. And if you've already been struggling and Venus is coming through, giving you a boost, like a power up, on the video games, they get that power up and they be like, and now they're all big and strong and tall now. I feel like that's what Aries is coming through in with that kind of energy because we've already been down. And when you're already down, there's only one way you can go, and that's up, right? There's only one way you can go, and that's up. So I do feel like people are already on the negative, and people are going to start taking more accountability for the reasons why their life is the way that it is. Like they've had these plenty of times to sit and deal with shit, and get tired of smelling their own shit. You know what I mean? In a sense where I feel like people are just going to step up to the plate, take accountability. Like, yeah, I've been fucking slacking. Like, I think we can all kind of agree to that because we've had so much retrograde energy and it's been all about internal and doing the inner work and sitting and thinking with things and letting things fester and trying to figure it all out. And if you've been doing that, um, I don't know. For me personally, I think this is a power up. I think that people are going to try to go and get help. They're going to take things more, they're going to be more motivated to take action to do things for themselves independently. That's how I really feel. I don't see this as much. I mean, obviously, there's always both sides of the spectrum being played out heavily depending on where everybody is. But on a grander scale, again, if you've been doing this right, you ain't gonna be wanting to do the shit that you've been doing to keep that's keeping you down that you just had a realization about. That's just where I'm at with it. So I do feel like men in particular are going to step up to the plate. They're going to become um, more interested in chasing and going after what they want. And yeah, so I can go on and on and on, but I think you guys get the freaking point, right? On a global level, there can be a sense of, what can I do? I can't do anything when in fact, we all have to to all we have to do is take accountability for our own development. In the same sense, on a personal level, I literally just said that. um, I just feel like we're gonna see it now more clearly. And mhm, yeah, so that's all I really got, family. As usual, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.